Welcome to G-Files History. Today's May 25th, a day of quiet beginnings that would ignite one of the boldest experiments in self-government the world has ever known. On this day in 1787, delegates from across the newly independent American states began to gather in Philadelphia. Their mission to revise the failing Articles of Confederation, but within the hallowed halls of Independence Hall, something far more radical took root: the birth of the United States Constitution. In 1787, the United States was just 4 years removed from the end of the Revolutionary War. The young nation had won its independence from Britain, but it hadn't yet figured out how to govern itself effectively. Under the Articles of Confederation, the states operated more like a loose alliance than a united country. Congress had no power to tax, regulate trade, or enforce laws. Interstate disputes were common, economic instability ran rampant, and many feared the nation was drifting toward collapse. And so a convention was called in Philadelphia. Though it was originally intended to simply revise the Articles, what followed was a bold leap to design an entirely new system of government. The Constitutional Convention officially began on May 25, 1787, but delegates started arriving as early as May 24th, including some of the greatest minds of the era: James Madison, Benjamin Franklin, Alexander Hamilton, and later George Washington, who was unanimously elected president of the convention. Over the next 4 months, these men debated, argued, and compromised. They wrestled with questions of federalism, representation, individual rights, and the balance of power. It was here that the Virginia Plan, the New Jersey Plan, and eventually the Great Compromise were forged, shaping a bicameral legislature and defining how states would be represented. The Constitution they drafted would go on to become the supreme law of the United States, ratified in 1788 and still in force today, making it the oldest written national constitution still in use. Its impact has been immeasurable. It established the separation of powers between legislative, executive, and judicial branches. It laid the groundwork for a republic governed by the rule of law, not by monarchs or elites. It created a framework flexible enough to endure civil war, industrial revolution, world wars, and social transformation through amendments, interpretation, and expansion of civil rights. Though not without flaws, including compromises on slavery that would haunt the nation for generations, the Constitution creation marked a turning point in political thought, influencing democracies around the world. Before the ink dried, before signatures were set, and before we the people became a rallying cry, a group of visionaries gathered to imagine a new nation. Their work wasn't easy, it wasn't perfect, but it changed the course of history. That's May 25th, one day, a world of history.